All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Abhishek Mukhopadhyay and with me is Vaibhav Srivastav. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to interact with students, teachers and parents during Pariksha Pe Charcha at 7 p.m. today. Centre reviews COVID-19 situation with health ministers of 11 states, asks them to vaccinate prioritized groups in mission mode. More than 8 crore 40 lakh doses of COVID-19 vaccine administered in the country. Gujarat government decides to impose night curfew in 20 cities. Chandigarh administration to impose night curfew from today. CBI registers preliminary inquiry against former Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh, who resigned over corruption allegations. Ladakh administration, Leh Hill Council and Solar Energy Corporation of India sign MOU to set up 50 megawatt solar power project at Taru in Leh district. IMF upgrades India's growth forecast to 12.5% in 2021 backed by recovery and vaccination drive. US joint talks in Vienna aimed at reviving Iran nuclear deal. World Health Day been celebrated today. And Real Madrid and Manchester City advanced to the semi-finals of the Champions League football tournament. As the number of COVID cases are on the rise again, we appeal to our listeners not to lower the guard, take all precautions and all those above 45 years to get vaccinated without any hesitation. Stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will interact with the students, teachers and parents during Pariksha Pe Charcha at 7 p.m. today. This will be the first edition of this mega event, which will be held in a virtual mode due to restrictions posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. During the Pariksha Pe Charcha program, the Prime Minister will share ideas and suggestions to prepare and appear in exams without taking any stress. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said a memorable discussion will be held with the exam warriors, parents and teachers in a new format, having several interesting questions on a wide range of subjects. An online creative writing competition was conducted at MyGov platform on various topics during 17th of February to 14th of March this year for children studying in class 9 to 12, teachers and parents. Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank has said that the Pariksha Pe Charcha program will help students to overcome exam stress and boost up their morale. He said this is the first time when students from 81 foreign countries have also participated in the creative writing contest.
लगभग 14 लाख छात्रों ने हिस्सा लिया, जिसमें कुछ अभिभावक भी हैं और कुछ अध्यापकगण भी हैं। ये भी हमारे लिए बहुत खुशी का विषय है कि दुनिया के लगभग 81 देशों के बच्चे आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के इस प्रेरक कार्यक्रम से सीधे जुड़े हैं और तनाव रहित परीक्षा कैसे दी जा सकती है। प्रधानमंत्री जी का जो अद्भुत हमको मार्गदर्शन मिलता है, जो परीक्षाओं में हमारे लिए संजीवनी का काम करता है। मैं समझता हूं कि ये परीक्षा पे चर्चा का जो 4था संस्करण है, जो दुनिया में अद्भुत है, अभिनव है।
We spoke to Sarvesh Mishra, an academician who says Pariksha Pe Charcha is a wonderful opportunity for students to enhance their scholastic excellence.
मैं डॉक्टर सर्वेश मिश्रा, नेशनल अवार्डी प्रिंसिपल, बस्ती जनपद से हूं। बच्चों, एक और सूचना है कि आप उस कार्यक्रम के लिए, जैसे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी पिछले सालों तक लगातार बच्चों को आमने सामने बात करते थे, इस बार आप सबके लिए अवसर है कि ऑनलाइन रूप से, वर्चुअल रूप से आप माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी से सवाल पूछ सकते हैं। इसके लिए आप mygov.in पे जाएं, mygov.in पे जाएं, नरेंद्र मोदी ऐप पे जाएं और वहां पे अपने सवालों का रजिस्ट्रेशन करें और माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी से सीधे सवाल पूछें। बच्चों, आप सबको ये भी बताना है कि जिस तरह से आप अपने नॉर्मल जीवन में, अपने दैनिक दिनचर्या में अपने आप को रखते हैं, स्वस्थ हंसते खेलते परिवार के बीच व्यवहार करते हैं, अपनी परीक्षाओं के दौरान भी वैसे ही करें, कोई भी तनाव नहीं ले। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का कहना है कि परीक्षा कक्ष में आप तनाव लेके ना जाएं, आप आत्मविश्वास लेके जाएं। तो मेरी शुभकामनाएं हैं आप सभी को कि आपकी परीक्षाएं अच्छे से हों।
Tony Patel says Pariksha Pe Charcha is a great opportunity to get motivated.
प्रोग्राम मैंने देखा है, स्टूडेंट्स का कॉन्फिडेंस को ये बढ़ाता है। स्टूडेंट्स जो है ये प्रोग्राम में पार्टिसिपेट करने के बाद एग्जाम अपियर करेगा तो स्टूडेंट्स का कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ जाता है, हम देखा है। और ये प्रोग्राम कराने के बाद मैंने देख रहा है पास परसेंटेज जो है बहुत अच्छा हो जाता है।
AIR correspondent reports that Pariksha Pe Charcha is a part of a larger initiative, Exam Warrior, led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi to create a stress-free atmosphere for youngsters. This is a much-awaited annual event where the Prime Minister will hold a brainstorming session with the school students, teachers and parents.
During the event, the Prime Minister will respond to questions related to exam stress. The questions were invited through MyGov open platform and selected queries will be featured in the program. School students, teachers and parents from all across the country have been selected through an online creative writing competition designed specifically for them on MyGov platform. Around 14 lakh participants have registered themselves in the contest for the 4th edition of Pariksha Pe Charcha. 10,50,000 students, 2,60,000 teachers and 92,000 parents have participated in the creative writing contest. The selected participants will take part in the program online from their state and union territory headquarters. With Dipendra, Anupam Mishra, AIR News, Delhi.
Prime Minister said that the first ever virtual Pariksha Pe Charcha 2021 is going to be an exciting interaction covering a diverse range of topics. In a tweet this morning, Mr. Modi said you could be an exam warrior, a parent or a teacher. There's something for everyone. He said, let us make exams stress-free. The Pariksha Pe Charcha main event can be seen on TV channels, digital media including EduMin of India, Narendra Modi, PMO India, PIB India, Doordarshan National, MyGov India, DD News, Rajya Sabha TV, Swayam Prabha on the Facebook and YouTube channels from 7 p.m. onwards.
Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan reviewed the COVID-19 situation and actions being taken to address the rising cases in the country with the health ministers of 11 states through video conference yesterday. These states include Maharashtra, Haryana, Delhi, Punjab, Chhattisgarh, Karnataka, Gujarat and Jharkhand, which are witnessing the highest spike in the COVID cases. Dr. Harshvardhan assured states that the centre will continually replenish the vaccine stock and urged the states to vaccinate the prioritized groups in mission mode. He said no state government can complain that because of vaccine shortage, they have not been able to vaccinate. During the meeting, Dr. Harshvardhan attributed to the local body election big agitations and events and marriage ceremonies for the rise in the COVID cases, saying COVID containment measures were ignored on these occasions. The Union Health Minister highlighted that these 11 states together contributed 54% of the total cases and 65% of the total deaths in the country, with a disproportionately high number of deaths in Maharashtra and Punjab. He assured that the centre has been and shall continue to support the states and UTs through all possible resources to fight the global pandemic. He stated that while the cases were on the rise since the past few weeks, the national cumulative fatality rate CFR has become 1.30% now. He said India's vaccination coverage has crossed 8.31 crore doses, with single largest vaccination in the last 24 hours of more than 43 lakh doses administered.
देश भर में 8,31,10,926 डोजेज जो हैं, ये वैक्सीन की हमारे अब तक जो भी प्रायोरिटाइज्ड ग्रुप्स हैं, हेल्थ केयर वर्कर्स, फ्रंटलाइन वर्कर्स, 60 साल से लेकर ऊपर के लोग, पहले हमने 45 साल से ऊपर के लोगों को कोमॉर्बिड लोगों को शामिल किया था, अब 45 साल से ऊपर का हर व्यक्ति शामिल है। तो ये 8 करोड़ से ज्यादा लोगों को ये डोजेज मिली है और आप सब इस बात के लिए बधाई के पात्र हैं कि पिछले 24 घंटे में देश में 43 लाख से ज्यादा डोजेज जो है वो लोगों को वैक्सीन के रूप में मिली है। वहां जो ज्यादा प्रभावित इलाके हैं वहां पर और भी ज्यादा एम्फेसिस के साथ हम इन प्रायोरिटाइज्ड ग्रुप्स को वैक्सीनेट करने का प्रयास करें उन डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में, इसकी भी बहुत बड़ी आवश्यकता है।
The cumulative number of COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in the country has crossed 8 crore 40 lakh. The Health Ministry said more than 5,62,000 vaccine doses were given till 8 p.m. yesterday, out of which over 4,57,000 beneficiaries were vaccinated for the first dose and more than 1,05,000 beneficiaries received the second dose of vaccine.
A total of 5,100 new confirmed cases of coronavirus infection were reported in Delhi during the past 24 hours, taking the total number of cases to over 6,85,000. Delhi government said that over 6,56,000 people affected with coronavirus have been cured so far. Presently, the total number of active cases of COVID-19 in the national capital is 17,332. Following the huge spike in COVID cases, the Delhi government yesterday imposed night curfew in the national capital from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. till 30th of April. There will be no restrictions on traffic movement and there shall be no restriction on interstate and intrastate movement and transportation of essential and non-essential goods. Private doctors, nurses and paramedical staff will remain exempted from night curfew. Owners of groceries, general fruits, vegetables and medical stores will be allowed on e-pass. Print and electronic media personnel will also be allowed to move on e-pass. Passengers going to airports, railway stations and bus stations will be exempted if a valid ticket is produced. Buses, metros, autos and taxis will be allowed to ferry only those people who are exempt from night curfew. Chandigarh administration will impose night curfew from today. The decision was taken at a meeting chaired by Chandigarh Administrator VP Singh Badnoor yesterday, keeping in view the rapid increase in the number of COVID cases. Mr. Badnoor has directed the police authorities to ensure strict implementation of 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. curfew. No gatherings, parties, social activities will be allowed and restaurants will also be required to close by 10 p.m.
The Gujarat government has announced a night curfew in 20 cities from today. The 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. curfew will be enforced till the 30th of this month. The cities where the night curfew will be imposed include Ahmedabad, Surat, Rajkot, Vadodara, Junagadh, Nadiad, Mehsana, Morbi, Patan, Godhra, Dahod, Bhuj and Gandhinagar. In an attempt to stem the coronavirus outbreak in the state, Vijay Rupani-led government capped the maximum number of people allowed to attend a wedding celebration at 100. The state government asked all people to postpone the grand events until April the 30th. The government offices to be remain closed every Saturday till April 30th. Gujarat has recorded 3,280 new cases of COVID-19 infections during the last 24 hours. According to the State Health Department, 2,167 patients have recovered and discharged from the hospitals. State have also recorded 17 deaths yesterday. At present, the state has more than 17,000 active cases. The state government has announced series of steps to contain the spread of COVID-19. More from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
Maximum 798 new cases have been reported from Ahmedabad, while Surat recorded 615 new cases. Chief Minister Vijay Rupani has reviewed the COVID-19 situation in the state and announced series of steps to contain the spread of COVID-19. Accordingly, now the night curfew will remain effective from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. in 20 cities of the state, including all 8 municipal corporations. Only 100 persons will be allowed to participate in the wedding ceremony. All political and social gatherings will remain suspended till 30th April. Small hospitals with 10 to 30 beds have been permitted to treat a mild and asymptomatic patients. Number of testing along with RT-PCR tests have been increased to double in the state. Yogesh Pandya, AR News, Ahmedabad.
Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar has instructed officials to revive quarantine centers to tackle migrant rush in the state. During a review meeting with senior officials, Mr. Kumar said migrant workers from Bihar have started returning from states such as Maharashtra and Punjab following partial lockdown and other prohibitory orders enforced in the states. He instructed to keep a strict watch on people coming from outside and those coming in their contact. Nitish Kumar asked people to be alert for the vaccination. Mr. Kumar said higher rate of vaccination will ensure lesser impact of infection.
मास्क जरूर पहनिए, एक दूसरे से दूरी कायम रखिए। बहुत ज्यादा सार्वजनिक जगहों पर इकट्ठा होकर के भीड़ इकट्ठा करना, मास्क बिना पहनाए हुए एक दूसरे के अगल बगल में खड़ा हो जाना, ये ठीक नहीं। और सब लोगों को प्रेरित करना है कि भाई आप अपना टीकाकरण भी कराइए और दूसरी चीजें की टेस्ट भी करवाइए। ये दोनों काम हम लोगों को करना है और हम लोगों को पूरा भरोसा है कि टीकाकरण हम लोगों का मैक्सिमम हो जाएगा तो स्वाभाविक तौर पर नया जो बीमारी फिर से आ रही है उसका असर कम से कम हो।
Meanwhile, the state government has cancelled the leave of all government healthcare workers till May 31st in view of increasing number of COVID-19 cases in the state.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to interact with students, teachers and parents during Pariksha Pe Charcha at 7 p.m. today. Centre reviews COVID-19 situation with health ministers of 11 states, asks them to vaccinate prioritized groups in mission mode. More than 8.40 lakh doses of COVID-19 vaccine administered in the country. Gujarat government decides to impose a night curfew in 20 cities. Chandigarh administration to impose night curfew from today. CBI registers preliminary inquiry against former Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh, who resigned over corruption allegations. Ladakh administration, Leh Hill Council and Solar Energy Corporation of India signed MOU to set up a 50-megawatt solar power project at Taru in Leh district. IMF upgrades India's growth forecast to 12.5% in 2021, backed by recovery and vaccination drive. US joins talks in Vienna aimed at reviving Iran nuclear deal. World Health Day being celebrated today, and Real Madrid and Manchester City advanced to semi-finals of the Champions League football tournament. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
Welcome back. You are listening to the morning news. Central Bureau of Investigation has registered preliminary inquiry against former Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh, who resigned over corruption allegations. The preliminary inquiry was registered on the instructions of Bombay High Court, which passed an order on Monday in this regard. The High Court had ordered the CBI to hold preliminary inquiry into former Mumbai Police Chief Parambir Singh's allegations against Anil Deshmukh running an extortion wing. Tamil Nadu registered 72.78% polling in yesterday's assembly elections. Chief Electoral Officer Satyabrata Sahu said that polling was by and large peaceful in the state. More from a Chennai correspondent.
Polling, which took off at a slow pace yesterday morning, picked up momentum gradually later in the afternoon. Kanyakumari district, where Lok Sabha bypoll was also held, recorded 68.80%. Out of the 37 districts in the state, Karur recorded a maximum of 83.94% votes. Kallakurichi, Dharmapuri, Ariyalur districts recorded more than 80% votes. 33 constituencies, including Edapadi, where AIADMK Joint Coordinator and Chief Minister Palanichami contested, recorded more than 80% votes. Chennai recorded a minimum of 58.98% votes yesterday. 5 constituencies in Chennai, including Velachery, registered 55% votes. Joy, AIR News, Chennai.
Amid COVID, Kerala witnessed a high voter turnout of 74.02% in the assembly election to 140 constituencies. Lok Sabha bypoll to Malappuram was also held yesterday. More from our Thiruvananthapuram correspondent.
74.02% polling was reported for the assembly polls, in which 957 candidates are contesting, and 74.53% polling was reported in Malappuram Lok Sabha by-polls, where 6 candidates are in the fray. Barring some minor incidents, polling was peaceful across the 40,771 polling booths in the state. COVID protocol has been strictly followed in the polling process throughout the state. COVID patients and quarantined voters casted their votes in the final hour of polling wearing PPE kits. Meanwhile, the Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan said that the high voter turnout will be in LDF's favour and they will come to power again. Opposition leader Ramesh Chinithala said that the UDF will get clear majority to form the government. Meanwhile, the BJP state president K. Surendran said that the BJP will get a great victory in this election. Mayush Shah for AIR News from Thiruvananthapuram.
In Puducherry, 81.64% votes were cast in assembly elections yesterday. We have a report from our Puducherry correspondent.
The highest percentage of votes, that is 91.27%, polled in Yanam constituency, and the lowest 73.24 poll percentage was recorded in Rajbhavan constituency. 31 ballot units, 36 control units and 113 VV-pots were replaced during the mock poll and the actual poll. As a special arrangement, COVID-infected persons were also allowed to cast their votes in this election. A total number of 510 COVID-positive persons exercised their franchise in their respective booths, which includes 220 persons in Puducherry, 247 in Karaikal, 18 in Yanam and 25 persons in Mahe. The counting of votes will be held on May 2nd in 6 centers in the Union Territory. Chandramohan, AIR News, Puducherry.
In Assam, 82.28% of polling has been reported in the third and final phase. However, the final figure is yet to be announced. Overall, Assam has recorded over 80% of polling. Polling was held in the state in 3 phases, and the last phase has covered 40 seats yesterday. A total of 337 candidates were in the fray in the third phase. We spoke to Chief Electoral Officer Nitin Khare on the third phase of polls.
We have almost completed the successful completion of polling for the third phase of elections for Assam Legislative Assembly. We have peaceful, free and fair and safe vote. There has been no incident of any major violence, and we have till now registered an estimated poll percentage of 82.15%. We thank all the voters, all the general public, media, political parties for having extended their cooperation in conducting the polls in a free, fair, safe and peaceful manner.
In West Bengal, campaigning for the fourth phase of assembly elections reached its feverish pitch. The canvassing will come to an end tomorrow evening. This phase of polling will be held on 10th of April in 44 assembly segments spread over 5 districts: Hooghly, Howrah, South 24 Parganas, Cooch Behar and Alipurduar districts. Senior leaders of TMC, BJP and Sanjukta Morcha will be crisscrossing in several assembly segments, holding rallies and road shows. More from a correspondent.
Senior BJP leader and Union Home Minister Amit Shah will hold 4 road shows today in poll-bound Singur, Domjur, Howrah Madhya and Behalapur assembly segment. TMC chief and Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee will also hold rallies support of party candidates. On Tuesday, senior BJP leader and Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed rally in Cooch Behar and Howrah. Mr. Modi alleged in the election rally of Howrah that corruption is rampant in the regime of TMC-led government. Claimed electorates of Bengal have decided to dethrone the present government. TMC chief Mamata Banerjee alleged that BJP is resorting violence and intimidation to come into power. Senior Congress leader Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary and CPM leader Suryakant Mishra campaigning for candidates of Sanjukta Morcha. Dharmendra Kumar Rai, AIR News, Kolkata.
The Ladakh Administration, Leh Hill Council and Solar Energy Corporation of India SECI have signed an MOU to set up a 50-megawatt solar power project at Taru in Leh district. The move is aimed at making Ladakh a carbon-neutral zone. More from our Leh correspondent.
Ladakh has a potential of 33 gigawatts of renewable energy to contribute nation's efforts in reducing carbon emissions. UT Administration, Leh Hill Council and Solar Energy Corporation of India have signed first MOU to harness solar energy with a 50-megawatt project at Taru in Leh. Speaking on the occasion, Ladakh Lieutenant Governor R.K. Mathur said, considering the various requirements in next 5 years, power consumption would go up to 200 megawatts in Ladakh region. He called for many renewable energy projects to realize the PM Modi's vision for carbon-neutral Ladakh. He informed that UT Administration is working with SECI on a 10,000 megawatt milestone project in Ladakh. Mr. Mathur said each megawatt power generated from renewable resources would contribute to employment, economic development locally and to carbon neutrality globally. Ladakh MP Jamyang Sering Namgyal said this project make Ladakh Atmanirbhar in power sector and power availability at nominal price for the end users. Leh Hill Council CEC Tashi Gyalsan appealed SECI to consider maximum jobs to be given to locals. CMD SECI Jatinder Nath Swain said MOU would open up avenues for both private and public sectors to invest in Ladakh to tap the enormous potential of renewable energy. Ramesh Chandra, All India Radio News, Leh.
International Monetary Fund IMF has upgraded its growth projection for India to 12.5% for the financial year 2021-22. In its latest World Economic Outlook report, the IMF has pegged India's GDP to grow 1% higher than its previous report published in January this year. The Washington-based International Financial Institution has projected a contraction of 8% in the growth in the last fiscal, while it has forecast a growth of 6.9% in the next financial year beginning in 2022. IMF has also said that inflation will taper down to 4.9% in the current financial year.
Today is World Health Day. In 1948, the World Health Organization, WHO, held the first World Health Assembly and decided to celebrate 7th of April every year as the World Health Day from 1950. The World Health Day is celebrated every year to draw worldwide attention to a subject of major importance to global health. The theme of this year is building a fairer, healthier world for everyone. WHO said the COVID-19 pandemic has undercut recent health gains, pushed more people into poverty and food insecurity, and amplified gender, social and health inequities. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that World Health Day is a day to reaffirm a gratitude and appreciation to all those who work day and night to keep our planet healthy. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said it's also a day to reiterate a commitment to supporting research and innovation in healthcare. On World Health Day, he called upon everyone to keep the focus on fighting COVID-19 by taking all possible precautions, including wearing a mask, regularly washing hands and following the other protocols. Mr. Modi said at the same time to take all possible steps to boost immunity and stay fit. The Prime Minister said Government of India is taking numerous measures, including Ayushman Bharat and Pradhan Mantri Jan Aushadhi Yojana, to ensure people get access to top quality and affordable health care.
United States has joined talks in Vienna aimed at reviving the Iran nuclear deal. Diplomats from France, Britain, Germany, Russia and China, acting as intermediaries, began shuttling between Iranian and US officials in Vienna, seeking to bring both countries back into full compliance with the 2015 nuclear deal that Washington abandoned 3 years ago. Real Madrid and Manchester City have advanced to the semi-finals of the Champions League football tournament. Liverpool succumbed to a chastening 3-1 defeat from Real Madrid, and Manchester City egged out a 2-1 win over Borussia Dortmund at home in the quarter-final first leg of 2020-21 UEFA Champions League.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital Delhi is likely to have partly cloudy sky with maximum temperature of 37 degrees Celsius. It recorded a minimum of 20 degrees. Mumbai, Chennai and Kolkata will have mainly clear skies. The maximum temperature for Mumbai is around 33 degrees Celsius, while it registered a minimum of 24 degrees. The maximum temperature of Chennai is around 36 degrees Celsius, while the minimum was 27 degrees. The maximum temperature of Kolkata is around 37 degrees Celsius, while the minimum was 27 degrees. Srinagar will have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. The maximum temperature is expected to be around 17 degrees Celsius, while the minimum was 9 degrees. Jammu will have partly cloudy sky. Leh will have generally cloudy sky, maximum temperature of 7 degrees Celsius, while the minimum was -1 degrees. Gilgit is expected to have 18 degrees Celsius as an upper limit of temperature and generally cloudy sky with light rain. It recorded a minimum of 8 degrees. Muzaffarabad will witness thunderstorm with rain. The temperature will rise from a minimum of 12 degrees Celsius to a maximum of around 28 degrees.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Delhi government clamping night curfew is one of the stories that dominates headlines this morning. Night curfew back in Delhi leads Business Standard, adding curbs will be imposed from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. till April 30th, essential services exempted. The business line quotes member health Niti Aayog VK Paul as saying next 4 weeks critical to battle the second COVID wave. India-Russia discuss defense production, notes the Tribune. Won't forge military ties with China. Russia assures India, informs the Pioneer. Stray violence March. Phase 3 polling in West Bengal, observes the Statesman. As CBI begins probe on High Court orders Maharashtra government, Deshmukh move separate pleas in Supreme Court, reports the Indian Express. Forces may use copters to hunt down top Naxal, states the Asian Age. And finally, vigilance officers to be transferred every 3 years. The Hindu, quoting the Central Vigilance Commission CVC, writes, this is to ensure transparency.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to interact with students, teachers and parents during Pariksha Pe Charcha at 7 p.m. today. Centre reviews COVID-19 situation with health ministers of 11 states. Asks them to vaccinate prioritized groups in mission mode. More than 8 crore 40 lakh doses of COVID-19 vaccine administered in the country. Gujarat government decides to impose night curfew in 20 cities. Chandigarh administration to impose night curfew from today. CBI registers preliminary inquiry against former Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh, who resigned over corruption allegations. Ladakh administration, Leh Hill Council and Solar Energy Corporation of India signed MOU to set up 50 megawatt solar power project at Taru in Leh district. IMF upgrades India's growth forecast to 12.5% in 2021, backed by recovery and vaccination drive. US joins talks in Vienna aimed at reviving Iran nuclear deal. World Health Day being celebrated today. And Real Madrid and Manchester City advanced to semi-finals of Champions League football tournament. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.